Time is 6 o'clock. I call the meeting of the Atoka City Council to order. Ask everyone to rise as we do the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you would, bow with me. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight thanking you, God, for another day. Thank you for the rain that you've sent us. And God, I just pray that tonight as we go through this meeting, that you just give us unity on our decisions and the wisdom to make the right decisions, God. And I just pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Well, welcome to everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. And at this time, would the clerk call roll, please?
Mr. Turner,
Here.
Mr. Sherrill,
Here.
Ms. McGee,
Here.
Ms. Pogue,
Here.
Mr. Kathy.
Here. All right, as we move down, before we start the meeting tonight, I just want to recognize our city staff for the work that was done
Amen.
over the weekend with the incredible amount of storm damage that we've had from the winds and the amount of effort that our guys put in Sunday night and Monday. Folks don't typically see that. They may see some flashing lights going by their house in the night, but we had numerous calls, had one fire that I know of, and just tremendous wind damage all the way around the town, and our crews were out all night long keeping this town running for our citizens, and I greatly, and our folks out at the EOC making sure that the storms were being watched the way they were, and we were very fortunate where some other communities were not, and I just want to thank each and every one of them for their time and effort and diligence in keeping our community running for our citizens. So,
And continue things, because I tell you, it looks like it's
yeah, and
gonna
so,
be a rough week.
yeah, we've
And
got a
all
lot.
all the trees and stuff that are down.
Yeah, so they're continuing to work, we'll be coming through, picking up the limbs and things of that nature from the storm damage, so our citizens don't have to, but that's gonna be an ongoing process, but, again, thank you, each and every one of our city staff that are working on that. And it's dangerous, a lot of limbs hanging can injure people, so they're in a hurry trying to clear those and get those where it's safe, so, thank you for, Gene, if you'd pass that along to the crews, I'd greatly
I will,
appreciate it.
and, as on a note to that, most of our crews were out till like 3 o'clock Monday morning, they turned around and come back, worked all day Monday. We did shut down a little bit the last couple of days, cause they were prepping the cemeteries and getting them ready. Drove through them today, they look great, they've got them cleaned up, got the flags out, and everything's good. We will resume the debris removal next week, and we'll work next week and the week after if we had to get it. That's what we've been telling people, just to get it out to the curbs, and we'll process it. And
I think that gives people time to get it
Yeah.
out, cause there's some people
There's
that
still
working.
still a lot of big trees down,
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah.
gonna take some time, so.
Did you send Danny a thank you for going on vacation this week?
well, it's been noted. It seems like that happens
Yeah.
about every time. So
All right, at this time, this is the public comment time. This is anything that's not on the posted agenda. You may address the council at this time. Hearing none, we'll move down to the business agenda. Item number 1, discussion and/or action regarding approving or rejecting the minutes of the meeting of May 5th, 2025.
I recommend approving.
I'll second.
Have a motion second. Roll call, please.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Turner.
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes. Item number 2, discussion and/or action regarding accepting or rejecting the city manager's report. Any questions for the assistant city manager this evening? Looks like it's been another very busy.
it has been. I would add a couple of things. That last Sunday we were notified we had a leak underneath the splash pad.
That's nice.
Had to shut that down for several days. It was tested yesterday, and it's operational once again for the weekend. One of the 3-inch collars underneath had broke, and we got the parts in. It just took a little while to get it restored. And then also our playground equipment for the small kids out at the sports complex, it was damaged in the storm. Don't think it was adequately anchored, but the public works director and the capital improvement guys, parks crew, they did some more extensive anchoring and some repairs, and so it's gonna be functional too, so it'll be good to go.
Great.
Okay, thank you. I recommend approving.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Turner. Mr. Kathy.
Yes. Item number 3, discussion and/or action on approving or rejecting the payment of the purchase orders for the city of Atoka for the month of April 2025.
Mayor, I reviewed these with the city manager prior to him leaving. Everything was normal, and he recommended that you approve.
Okay.
Recommend approving.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes. Item number 4, presentation of the plaque for the city of Atoka as a Purple Heart City. Good evening.
If we could maybe get a picture.
Sure.
Mayor,
Certainly.
in front of you guys. This is just a plaque from the Purple Heart, the Military Order of Purple Heart Special Recognition Award bestowed on the pride of the city of Atoka, Oklahoma, nominated by Ambassador Steve Bird for your dedication, support, honor of American combat wounded veterans becoming a Purple Heart City. Presented by the State Commander, Master Chief Larry Von Schreiber, and the military order, or the military patriots of the Military Order of Purple Heart. And it just culminates what you guys have your signs up and everything that you guys have done to jump on this and really support the guys and the men and women who did things like when you talk about your service crews out cleaning, the city, how hard they work. Imagine in Vietnam, I had an allergy attack today, and I got up and I was talking to one of my friends who's in the military. He said, we didn't have allergy attacks. You just went on, you go. 3 years, he said, I never spent $1 in the jungle, hot, sick. Sergeant, I'm sick today, can't go. Them guys you guys had working, late like now. Imagine working 3 years and losing friends and stuff. And this is just a simple thing that we can't forget.
Right.
Absolutely. Ronald Reagan said, freedom is one generation away from being extinct. If you think about that, because it's something we don't pass on in our genes, it's got to be fought for and protected. And this is just kind of a very small symbol that you guys are protecting that. So I'd like to give this to you.
Right.
If the council would, I'd like to have the whole council
Okay.
take the picture. Yes, sir, go ahead. Coach.
I was just gonna say, we could stand behind if you wanna go down
Well, either way, or
Yeah.
however you'd like to do it.
Whatever you want.
I'd like the whole council.
I saw the one, do we have them at every, like, entrances, like north and south? I saw the one
Yes.
south, but I guess
Yes.
and, okay, I know I saw it at one.
I'm not gonna tell you what to do, you're wearing a gun, so.
I don't wanna sit up.
Act like y'all
You
want
squeeze in.
Stay here, he didn't get over here.
Mr. Turner.
There you go. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate all y'all.
Thank you.
Tell your vets
Thank
around
you
the
for your
city, we
service.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Mr. Bird, thank you, sir. Okay, item number 5, discussion and/or action to enter into an agreement between the city of Atoka and H.W. Lochner, Inc. for airport planning services in the amount of $359,170. Planning services include the completion of environmental assessment, the airport layout plan, which will evaluate potential environmental impacts and illustrate the future development for a replacement airport. Enforcement of the agreement contingent upon the city's acceptance of a grant offered by the Federal Aviation Administration and the Oklahoma Department of Aviation and Aerospace, and is contingent upon the independent fee estimate performed by a third party. Okay, so this is next step. We did our site selection plan, as you will recall, and our master planning study. So in that master planning study, it had some placement. This drills down further on the actual alignment of the runways and things of that nature that the FAA needs. And then the environmental assessments would
There's a
start.
bunch of environmental
Mhm. So,
things in that.
and again, all this is again, contingent upon the grants being accepted. So
That's what I was gonna say, this is the one we have the grant for, though, that we're.
that was the first two phases. There will be
Okay.
additional grants funding for this aspect of it as well.
So, do we pay out this now and then we'll get reimbursed by a grant maybe later, or,
No, it'll work just very similar to how we had the first round.
okay?
They send the money, how we had to do the
Mhm.
transfers, it'll be designated that same way.
We won't pay anything in advance.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, I thought we were approving to spend that money.
Well, that's the amount for the service, but that's the total.
Yes.
The total amount for this phase of the project. So as it comes in, there will be draws, just like there was before.
Okay.
We didn't pay the full amount
Mhm.
all at once. We approved the full amount, and then they broke it into payment streams, and then those grant funds were sent down to us during the payment.
Okay, so we don't have a grant yet, or we do have a grant?
I don't have that data in front of me, but I can verify that.
But I think we're just approving the amount for them to go get the money for us. It's not that we're spending it.
Okay, that's
This
right.
is just say,
Okay.
this is what we're gonna do.
Correct. And because we moved our meeting, Lochner had planned on being
Uh-huh.
here Monday night, and
And
then.
so it's kind of messed
yeah,
up.
so-
Okay, that's what I was just saying, it looked like we were approving the amount, so I just wanna make sure we have the funding coming down
Yes.
that before we,
Yes.
okay. I'll motion to approve.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Turner.
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes. And again, out of abundance of caution on Monday night with the projected weather coming in, and we didn't miss it by much.
No,
For
no, we were
Pittsburgh,
fortunate.
they really
Yeah.
got it.
Very
And I know Mr. Mullins was running all over the
I know.
creation,
Yeah.
trying to make sure where it was gonna fall out of the sky, so. Yeah, so it has thrown everything kind of to a tailspin
Yeah.
this evening, so.
I love the
apologies.
new sirens because they talk, and I was telling somebody, I was just like, oh yeah, our sirens are talking to us. And they were just like, yours talk? And I was just like, yes. Travis gets
Travis
on
can
there and
even
tells
make him
us
sing you a
what's going
song,
on.
so, all right.
So they are, people are impressed.
Yeah. Item number 6, discussion and/or action on approving resolution number 2025-11, amending and/or adjusting the rates, fees, and charges in Appendix 2, Schedule of Fees and Charges, Atoka City Code 2020, to reflect a utility rate increase in water and sewer fees and/or charges for residents, commercial, and other users inside or outside the corporate limits of the city of Atoka, and otherwise maintaining the current existing rates, fees, and charges, and directing other matters related thereto. Okay, this again is on the water study that we had done, the rate study that we had done that we approved in the last meeting. This is the resolution, correct, to finalize that? Okay. Any comments or questions on this?
Well-
The only thing that I'd like to add is that, I have been talking with Kelly and the girls up front about that averaging plan. And that software should be effective, around November 1st. Hopefully, if somebody is interested in looking at averaging, their water bill, the software will be here. Of course, they'll have to be trained, but it's gonna be an option,
Yeah,
you
and
know.
and I think at that point, once we kind of get that
Yeah.
system up and running, we can possibly look back at coming and amending that again if
Okay.
need be.
Okay.
So at that point, we can start, because I don't really think anybody with the new software till they're trained on it and know how
Well,
it
it's not
really.
here. They'll have
Yeah,
to
till it really
November
is
1st.
up and
Right.
operational, we have all the kinks worked out of it.
There's still some training sessions on that, so
Okay.
it's in phases.
But I
There's
still
gonna be
wanted to
separate sections.
Let
Okay.
that be in
Yes.
the minutes, you know?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, on this effective date, does that mean the rates change as of September 1, or will their August bills be, their August water usage change for September 1? So the bill will be,
With
does
the
that
ra-
make sense? Okay, so do the rates change September 1 and then the October bill is reflective? Or is the August change is happening and then the September bill is reflected, the amounts?
my understanding was that it would take over in October.
So the rate
So we
fees
just-
go into
September.
effect
That's what I
September
think.
one, and
That's
then
I thought we talked about doing it in August.
Well,
So-
I think we did, but,
Yeah, but I think we pushed it off just a little bit longer.
and we also talked about it in November, but, I mean,
Yeah.
we, a little bit November
I don't-
first.
I know, I'm trying to recall off memory, I don't have off the top of my head when the study was originally supposed to start, what the recommendation was from the study to originally start.
Well, originally, I think they did say like December or November,
Well, because we wanted to get through the summer months,
but
you know.
yeah, to
Yeah.
get us through the summer months.
Yeah, but,
But I just wanna make sure if it's effective September one, then their September bills won't reflect it, but their October bills will.
We'll have clarification on that at the next meeting. Okay? Any other discussion?
I recommend approving.
Okay.
Second.
Is that a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second, roll call, please.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Ms. Pogue?
No,
Mr. Kathy?
Yes. Number 7, discussion and/or action on approving resolution number 2025-12, amending and/or adjusting the rates, fees, charges in Appendix 2, Schedule of Fees and Charges, Atoka City Code 2020, to reflect a utility rate increase in water and sewer fees and/or charges for residents, commercial, and other users inside and outside of the corporate limits of the city of Atoka, and otherwise maintaining the current existing rates, fees, and charges, and directing other matters related thereto.
If there's not any questions, I recommend approving.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second, roll call, please.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill?
Yes.
Ms. Pogue?
no,
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Kathy?
Yes. Number 8, discussion and/or action to adopt ordinance number 609, approving the rezoning of property located at 221 West 9th Street, also described as Lot 6, Block 68, Atoka City, Atoka, Oklahoma, currently zoned R1 Single Family Residential to C2 Highway Commercial, as approved at the city council meeting held on May 5th, 2025.
And that was Alice, right?
I
Yes,
think so,
Okay.
yeah. I'll motion to approve.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second, roll call, please.
Ms. Pogue?
Yes,
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill?
Yes.
Mr. Kathy?
Yes. Number 9, discussion and/or action to approve or reject the Atoka dispatch contract and authorizing the mayor and chief of police to sign all related documents. Chief?
On this, Mayor, we've been presented with some new fees for jailing and also, we'll get into that next, the dispatch contract, 2 separate entities. They did a cost analysis based on the number of calls run and the agencies, involved, and basically this is, gonna be shared across the police departments, per manpower, per agency. Their intention, the sheriff told me that he does not intend to charge any dispatch fees for fire departments or anything that do not have their own independent funding source and stuff, but they did an analysis of what dispatch cost them last year, and there's not been an increase since 2008, so it is a significant increase to what we have been paying, but I do understand the situation, and do appreciate the fact that it is a fair as far as, of course, ours is significantly higher because we've got more manpower officer-wise in this county. But in the past, we've actually paid a disproportionate amount compared to some of the other agencies, just based on our size. So,
What are we paying right now?
right
41?
now,
Mm-hmm.
last year's total cost was roughly 51,000.
what was it per?
Per inmate,
Cause this looks like it's per.
41.
per unit.
Now,
that's-
the jail, well, that'd be the next item.
Oh,
The
okay.
dispatch is, the dispatch was a blanket of, we had 51,000 with our total fees last year. And under the new deal, it will be based on how many officers we have, on schedule at any given time, so that'll fluctuate. And it'll be $530 per officer per month, basically. And that will reflect the 911 fees and stuff, so it's a very significant increase on that.
Do you know what the estimate is for the year?
Roughly 121, I believe,
Oh, wow.
based on the fact if we had 19 personnel. At this time, we're probably gonna be looking at 18 or less. There is some provisions for reserves, but we currently do not have a reserve set up, and there's gonna be some more negotiation kind of stuff going forward. But these come effective in July 1, so
Yeah.
it's
But if we don't take this, then we don't have no dispatch service, right?
correct.
And if we had to do something, some version ourselves, it would
Mhm.
cost
It
a
would
lot
cost
more.
way more.
I've run the numbers, and it would be very significant for us to maintain it ourselves.
Did Johnny look over the contract?
Yes, Johnny approved it.
Okay. Almost to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Turner.
Yes.
Ms. McGee.
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes. Item number 10, discussion and/or action to approve or reject the Atoka jail contract and authorizing the mayor and chief of police to sign all related documents.
Mayor, council, this one as well, city attorney looked over, approved the content. We did make some adjustments over the original that was submitted. Went back to the sheriff with a couple of concerns. He did make some modifications to accommodate us. It also is an increase, though, based on a fact, again, that they had not increased rates since 2008. They did a study of the analysis on the inmate housing for the previous year. They came up with the average of $51 a day is what it was costing them to house inmates. Under our contract, we would be charged $41. Currently, we're being charged $25 a day. And that just pertains to municipal inmates that are being held on municipal charges. It wouldn't pertain to anybody we have on felony warrants or district court misdemeanors or other holds. So, it also is an increase over what we have been paying, but, likewise, the option is we would have to have our own jail.
Did you say that, has it been 2008 on this one also?
Yes.
Oh, well.
Yes,
I mean, we've
there's been no
we've had a
increases
lot of good
on
years
either
then.
one,
Yeah.
yeah,
$25 a day.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Chief,
Johnny
thank-
didn't have any concerns with this one either?
No, he worked through with Gene and sheriff on all the content in the contract.
Almost to approve.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Turner.
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Ms. McGee.
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes. Item number 11, discussion and/or action to approve or reject entering into an agreement with HAAS Alert Services. Mr. Mullins, back to you, sir. How are you this evening?
A little tired, but I'm good.
Have you got a nap in yet?
A little bit.
Okay.
Beats, I actually got a full night's sleep last night, beats the 2 hours, a few nights before that, so. Hoss Alerts is what it's actually called. It's on the Atoka County EMS units currently. They've let me borrow one of their devices that's currently in my city truck. What this device does is any smartphone that's running like the Waze app, soon to be Google and some of the other ones, as you're approaching my truck, if it's stationary or driving down the road, within a half mile, it's gonna alert you and say emergency vehicle ahead. This program sends out like a GPS coordinates as it's responding, when it's moving, when it's setting, whatever. If it's stationary, it knows it alerts both ways coming at you in any direction. If it's traveling down the road, it alerts everybody in front of you up to a half a mile.
It's like an Amber Alert or something?
It's just, it sends out a signal, and it goes through their system, and then it processes out. EMS has had it for 2 months. I am fixing to have to return the device to them at the end of this month, because they've got a new quick response unit that they're putting it in. In the 2 months, they have alerted 1,420 devices that there's an EMS unit in the area. That includes what I've alerted through my truck. We couldn't break it down. They didn't have it per device. We asked them, and they didn't have that. The second feature that this has that we really enjoy is access to the Waze mapping system, which will also transfer into Apple Maps, Google and all that, where we, like say the city's doing construction on a road or we have a major incident, we can go on there and put a section of the road and click closed and the reason why. It immediately sends this out. And it will send it out, like anybody in the state of Oklahoma opens it, it's automatically gonna be in their program. That feature right there, in the 2 months, we closed 9 closures in 2 months, anywhere from in the county to any city. There was 44,282 devices notified that there was a closure. 3 of them closures were just street closures in town that we were testing the system with to see how it worked. City crew had Allen Drive closed over there for a water leak. We closed it off, you know, something like that. That'd be something we could offer our citizens. If you run this, anytime we're doing road work on a road, we got it closed, we'll put it on there. We can put access to me, Susan, whoever we need to do that. The one feature that I added to it, EMS is not currently using, but looking into it, on the proposal, it says you'll see, I ran off and left my copy at the office a while ago. You'll see a feature that says, I'll get over here to it. Responder to responder service, and it says discount of 100%. Responder to responder service is what it does, it's monitoring anybody else that has the same system in their vehicle, which right now is EMS, fire department's kind of looking at it to maybe put on some of their trucks. We approach an intersection, like say, my truck's approaching the intersection one way, EMS is approaching the intersection the other way. There's a set of like LEDs that we can mount in our vehicle, they'll start flashing. That tells us we're within a quarter of a mile of another emergency response vehicle that has this system in it. So it would kind of give us a heads up that 2 of us are approaching like the same intersection or something
That would
like
be handy.
Might not have to, had a little issue that I had a few months back, but
That would be handy.
we don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
that may have been it, may not have, I don't know.
But any additional
Yes.
alert information that you can have,
Yep.
just, I mean, multi-agencies responding to the same thing.
Yeah, I hate 13th Street. It's the world's worst to me.
I do too.
Response.
Thank you.
But, so a 5-year commitment with them, which says that we can cancel at any time. They've added the wording in there. If the funding's not available, we can cancel at any time. The first year to purchase the devices, we're purchasing 2. We're putting one in my truck. Me and Jeans talked about this, and Danny, we're setting up one of his Tahoes that he's fixing to pull off the line with the next batch of units. We're making a drone response unit, or if I'm out for some reason, one of my assistants or something can bring that out. We can set him at Rex, warn people ahead of time. So we were looking at getting 2 devices for this. We're looking at the first year would be $2,194. I have some EMPG funding where I've worked with the state, met all the requirements. I've got $2,500 in that account that I can use to do that.
Okay.
The reoccurring charge is $798 per year, set as long as we sign this contract, say that we'll do it for 5 years if we have the money, then it's guaranteed 5 years. We don't have to worry about it going up or down at that point.
Okay.
So, I think it's a really good tool. A lot of your new Chrysler vehicles and stuff are actually getting this automatically sent into the system. It's slowly being, more and more is coming online. It's just, it takes time to build the infrastructure. Google, if you're running Google right now, you'll see like police reported ahead via Waze and stuff like that. That technology is there. It's just getting that alert from where we're setting into that program. They said they're having a little bit of detailed issue there. They're hoping midsummer to fall, it'll be done.
You said, where was the other device going? One was going in your truck and,
One goes in my truck and then one will be put into the Tahoe as soon as it's
What
available.
we've
okay.
got proposed is one of the vehicles that I'm gonna be bringing out of
Okay, yeah,
service.
that's what I
We're
was-
gonna implement it kind of a joint between the PD and emergency management, where my drone operators, Travis with his,
okay.
they'll have their drones in it, and we'll also have like a big screen TV or a big screen a display in the back of it, so when we lift the hatch, the drone operators, the people that are around trying to track people or look at things, are not trying to look at the same handheld device hovered over each other. And that way, we can use it to coordinate. If we've got fire looking for something, fire can look at it without having to try to look over Travis's shoulder at the same time we have police trying to. So it would be in that where they could utilize it.
And the rest of the money, you said,
I've got the first year, and as long as I keep the EMPG each year,
Okay.
then I can pay for it out of that, so. That's as long as the feds are paying
Well, I
the
think,
EMPG.
I think any kind of devices we can add that alert the public of law
Well-
enforcement or emergency management or staff on the, in a roadway is,
Good example, recently, you know, we had the double fatality accident in Stringtown, and we were manually directing traffic here for over 3 hours. Running through Colgate and stuff. With that, I can see that being very beneficial as far as the traffic that would have been approaching the
To divert.
detours that we had set, because they were all improvised. I mean, we didn't have time to plan out work zones and stuff, so.
EMS did, Sean, which is my assistant, also EMS there, he put them on there that day.
Okay.
But it'll be end of the month before we get
The
what-
data of
the
that.
data of what happened that day.
Okay.
We've asked them to break down that day, and they said they could for us, so we're waiting for that
That'd
data.
be
at the end of
it'd
the
be
month.
very interesting to see
Yeah.
that.
But this is gonna like alert my phone that says.
If you're
If you're
running,
in with-
right now, it's Waze will do it right now. So like you could turn it on, I could walk out in the parking lot and just turn like the red and blue lights on my truck. Your phone will go off and say emergency vehicle.
Yeah, as long as you have that app open,
Yep,
An app open.
yeah,
so the Waze is an app.
yeah, the
that
Waze is an
you
app.
Can, when you tether your phone to your car, and it looks like a Google Maps scenario.
Yeah.
And as you drive down the road, it will alert you if there's a disabled vehicle on the side of the road, if there is a law enforcement
So do a lot
on
of
the side
people
of the
have
road.
the app?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, it's,
I haven't
It
heard of
actually,
that, so-
This-
the
this
last
app-
2 years, it suppressed Google on the amount of downloads.
yeah.
Really?
We've
Yes.
used it for the last probably 6 or 7 years when we're traveling, because it'll tell you if there's debris in the roadway, and it says, is it still there, and you hit yes or no.
Well, I
And-
know Google Maps has been doing that, but I don't use it in town, so that's why I was trying to decide how that was gonna work
Yeah.
with your people that,
But,
so
A
we
lot
need
of
to
people that
promote
don't
that
run it
app too.
that often in
Yeah,
town,
that would be-
we're not gonna be quite getting it as much. Your newer Chrysler, Dodge Jeep, and some of your high-end vehicles that have the navigation built into them, that's 2024 and newer now. Some of that is automatically being brought into the system. Chrysler and some of them companies that, okay, yeah, this is important, we need to do it no matter if they paying for it or not, so they're going ahead and still sending the alerts to them. So hopefully more like Ford and some of these other companies will come online where if you have navigation in the vehicle, it's automatically gonna load, no matter if you have an app open or not. So,
Any other questions?
no. Do I hear a motion?
I recommend approving.
I'll second.
A motion and a second, roll call, please.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Ms. Pogue?
Yes.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill?
Yes.
Mr. Kathy?
Yes. Okay, under item C, public requested agenda items, item number 1, discussion and/or action related to section 12-232, paved surface required in commercial areas. Would you like to come up for us this evening, sir?
Thank y'all for having me here this evening. My name is Justin Hayner. I'm the pastor at Mount View Pentecostal Church right over here on McClendon. And we're trying to build a new church there. We know that town, that part of town is kind of rough, but that's where God wanted us to be. We have complied with all, we started out with a set of blueprints that wasn't gonna work, so we talked here with the city and went and spent, $25,000+ to get these blueprints that was gonna be approved by the city. Sent them up to J.C. Carroll, and he has approved, for all the church, the gravel parking, everything that is in there, fire hydrants, all of it. And now we're ready to try to start building, but we're held up by a code of wanting us to pave the entire parking lot. And that's just not in our budget. I mean, we're trying to do, God's work here and trying to get everything going, but a full parking lot of concrete is just not in our budget. And I'm trying to understand if we are approved for the gravel. And I'm not saying a couple of years down the road that maybe a paved, whatever, parking lot may be in the budget, but as of right now, it's just not. And we're trying to get this project started. I mean, our church is growing, our youth are growing, we've gotta have more room. And, so what I'm trying to do is get the approval to be able to start building this new church without concrete lot,
Are you just gravel right now?
just gravel right now. And I mean, when we lay it out, we're going to build the new church, wanting to build the new church, and then we'll take the old church out, and that will be a parking spot there. Now, we are looking at also, I mean, for sure we're gonna have to be handicap accessible. So as far as getting into the church and throughout, you know, a walkway there for them to come in easily. And, but right now, a full parking lot of concrete at $9, $10 a foot, it's just not in our budget.
And I was approached, had a phone call from one of your members, and I had recommended, you know, if there needed to be a variance, taking that before to go to planning and zoning to see if there would be an opportunity for a variance. I guess, that hasn't gone there, but the city attorney gave an opinion, based on the code. So, you know, that's, and it doesn't meet the threshold to grant a variance, is what he says. However, you know, with the amount of compliance that they've done and the approvals that they've had from Mr. Carroll, and the, you know, for me, the fact that it has gravel in the past, and you're trying to build a new facility that can accommodate your members of your church, so you can continue to grow. You know, if there's an opportunity in the future to come back, that'd be, I mean, I can see that, but I agree. I know, you know, with the parking lot work that we've done in the last couple of years around this area here in downtown, I'm pretty familiar with what a parking lot costs, and they don't hand those out. Whether it's asphalt, whether it's concrete, either one of those would meet that variance, or that meet the code without a variance. But I think, you know, to do that up front would be a very dramatic impact to your overall budget that I think you didn't have planned, because I don't think anybody said up front, hey, while you're doing all this, by the way, your parking lot has to be hard surface.
Didn't we approve a variance for another business
Mhm.
that didn't come, they didn't actually, it didn't happen, but it was a laundry, the laundromat.
The
that was on
laundromat, we
13th.
approved that side, and
Yeah, but they
that ain't what they
didn't
put
do
on
it.
there.
They didn't do it.
We've
No.
already approved one, and
Yes.
I would favor of.
I would be in favor of doing this too.
Yeah.
Well, I just think we could probably, each case, you know.
We just make a decision based on what.
Well,
yeah.
and it's.
And that's what we're gonna have to do.
Yeah, and it's, I mean,
We can't-
it's, you know, it's hard because the code says
Yes,
this is
concrete. It does.
concrete or asphalt.
Uh-huh, it does.
And, you know, it's a very delicate balancing act to do this right, but I think with the amount of, I mean, very few have to go through with the full set of blueprints, and that's an additional cost I'm sure you didn't have budgeted in, correct? So, then again, on that aspect of it's for the safety of your churchgoers, to make sure that the building's built to code, and that's why they recommended that. Again, like I said, I understand what the code says, but at the same time, issuing a variance, for me is not an issue, on this particular item. Again, since you're gonna comply with all the ADA handicap requirements for those folks to be able to enter and leave the building in the event of emergency, that's already been covered and approved by Mr. Carroll, correct?
Yes, sir. All that's.
So,
I make a motion, we approve the
Well,
variance.
what is it gonna put? You're just gonna do gravel, or what are you gonna do for the parking lot?
Yes, ma'am, right now.
Just gravel?
I mean, we'll roll it, whatever we need to do, pack it down,
Okay.
you know, so the parking lot will
Yeah,
be.
'cause it's, even with disability, the gravel is
Yeah.
hard for.
well, and it just ensuring that the compaction level is adequate for fire in the event of an emergency, that the first responders can get on all the way around your structures.
Yes, sir.
Last thing we need is a truck or an ambulance getting stuck trying to get somebody to the hospital or trying to put out a fire, so.
Right.
I have a motion on the floor to approve a variance.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Turner.
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes.
Do we need to add that variance to our policy then?
I mean, I think it's a case by,
we're gonna
case by
just
case
case
basis,
by
and
case.
typically that would go
It
before
doesn't-
planning and zoning.
Okay.
But again,
you for
rescheduling the
putting
meeting,
something
not
nice
having
in.
our leader with us this evening,
Thank-
that kind of throws a wrinkle in everything, but.
Thank you for putting something nice on that side of town.
Thank you.
It was a church already there, though.
Yes.
Yeah, we're there right
Now
now.
it's a new, brand new,
Yeah,
nice,
I know.
something nice.
Thank y'all.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And if you don't wanna stay for the rest of the meetings, it's not gonna hurt anybody's feelings, it's all right. They're pretty boring. All right.
There's a bunch more.
Yeah, there's
Yeah, there's several more meetings.
All right. All right.
All right, as we move down, is there any council comments? Hearing none, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second, roll call please.
Mr. Sherrill? Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Ms. Pogue?
Yes.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Kathy?
Yes. All right, as we move into our next meeting of the evening, the Atoka Municipal Authority, would you call roll, please?
Ms. Pogue?
Here.
Mr. Turner?
Here.
Mr. Sherrill?
Here.
Ms. McGee?
Here.
Mr. Kathy?
Here. All right, again, thank you for all staying with us. This time is the public comment time. If anything that's not on the posted agenda, you may address the board at this time. Hearing none, we'll move down to the business agenda. Item number 1, discussion and/or action regarding approving or rejecting the minutes of the meeting of May 5th, 2025.
I recommend approving.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. Pogue?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill?
Yes.
Mr. Kathy?
Yes. Item number 2, discussion and/or action on approving or rejecting the payment of purchase orders for the Atoka Municipal Authority for the month of April 2025.
I recommend approving.
I'll second.
A motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Ms. Pogue?
Yes.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill?
Yes.
Mr. Kathy?
Yes. Item number 3, I guess these are the ones we've approved in the city council meeting. We're kind of same thing here in the, under the municipal. Item 3, discussion and/or action on approving resolution number 2025-11, amending and/or adjusting rates, fees, and charges in Appendix 2, Schedule of Fees and Charges, Atoka City Code 2020 to reflect a utility rate increase in water and sewer fees and/or charges for residents, commercial, and other users inside or outside of the corporate limits of the city of Atoka, and otherwise maintain the currently existing rates, fees, and charges, and directing other matters relating thereto. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make that, I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion is second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Pogue?
No.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill?
Yes.
Mr. Kathy?
Yes. Item number 4, discussion and/or action on approving resolution number 2025-12, amending and/or adjusting the rates, fees, and charges in Appendix 2, Schedule of Fees and Charges, Atoka City Code 2020 to reflect a utility rate increase in water and sewer fees and/or charges for residents, commercial, or other users inside or outside of the corporate limits of the city of Atoka, and otherwise maintaining the currently existing rates, fees, and charges, and directing other matters relating thereto. Do I hear a motion at this time?
I recommend approving.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Ms. Pogue?
No.
Mr. Kathy?
Yes. As we move down, is there any trustee comments? Hearing none, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Pogue? Sorry.
Yes. Sorry.
Mr. Turner?
Didn't
Yes.
expect me first.
Mr. Sherrill?
Yes.
Sorry. Not you for two.
Let's get my wife now.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Mr. Kathy?
Yes. All right, as we move into our next meeting of the evening, the Atoka City Industrial Development Authority, would you call roll, please?
Ms. McGee?
Here.
Mr. Turner?
Here.
Ms. Pogue?
Here.
Mr. Sherrill?
Here.
Mr. Kathy?
Here. Again, thank you all for staying with us. This is the public comment time. If there's anything that's not on the posted agenda, you may address the board at this time. And hearing none, we'll move down to the business agenda. Item number 1, discussion and/or action regarding approving or rejecting the minutes of the meeting of May 5th, 2025.
I recommend approving.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherrill?
Yes.
Ms. Pogue?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Kathy?
Yes. Item number 2, discussion and/or action regarding accepting or rejecting the Economic Development Director's report.
This report was prepared by the city manager,
Yes, sir.
Danny Delay. I really don't have much to add other than we did discuss some stuff prior to his departure, and he did want me to convey that he had been visiting with some different investors, that some potential opportunities that might come to the city going forward. So
Great.
he was kind of excited about that part of it. We didn't get into a lot of detail, but he said he would have more to follow for y'all.
Okay,
You need some chicken.
very good.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, do I hear a motion to accept the report?
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion and second, roll call, please.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Ms. Pogue?
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill?
Yes.
Mr. Kathy?
Yes. Number 3, discussion and/or action on approving or rejecting the payment of purchase orders for the Atoka City Industrial Development Authority for the month of April 2025.
I recommend approving.
I'll second.
Have a motion and second, roll call, please.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Ms. Pogue?
Yes.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill?
Yes.
Mr. Kathy?
Yes. Item number 4, discussion and/or action on becoming a sponsor for the 50th anniversary of 48 Hours Music Festival. Good evening. Who's up? All right.
Well, I'm Chandra Potter, 48 Hours, and we asked you guys to sponsor us and give us $25,000 last time we were here.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay?
What's the total budget of this project?
We have our budget at $100,000,
Okay.
and this is still a free event for our community.
How much have you raised so far?
Ms. Treasurer, can you answer that?
I believe it's right at 20,000.
About at 20. And then we have some pending grants. So the lady that does our grants is Barbara Stevens, and she was unable to come tonight after rescheduling. And there are some grants that are available that are matching grants. So it kind of depends on what we get on what we can receive with the grants, like the city's putting into it. There was one she can look into that they might match what the city gives us. That gives us $50,000 plus what we already have. And we still have some sponsorships that we're expecting. We just haven't
Is
received
it
everything yet.
like a tourism grant, or where is it?
Honestly, she is a grant writer. We had no idea when we brought her in, she was a grant writer. So it really benefited us.
Okay.
There's a lot of them, because we now have our 501c3, so that changes some things for us. And so I can't speak to that, just to be honest with you, but she can answer any of those questions.
Are we charging for the
Seda?
use of the stage? We don't charge to use the stage, right?
Yeah,
Well-
I don't think it's been set up.
We haven't structured any of that
Fee
yet.
structure?
And because till it's done, but I know part of that conversation is what does that need to look like? Once the stage is done, the lighting and video part of that's not in that package, because every act that comes in has a different need, depending on their size and the size of the band or what their technology is that they typically use. When you go to an event of this scale, we have a specialist here.
Enter Steve Welch.
And he has helped us work through some ideas for future of the stage and what those could possibly be. And that's something we're gonna need to look at. And this, to me, would be a decent test run to see what those opportunities are gonna wind up needing to be for the future. And what that's gonna look like when we're hosting these events and trying to figure out how to put on something that is of a caliber that would draw people to your town, and then also make them wanna come back the next time they hear there's an event in your town. Again, there will be other events that don't have this need, but with the number of artists that you're gonna have performing, I can see where you're gonna be changing sets between every group, correct? This isn't just a one and done, set it down, correct? So each one has a different list of requirements for them to come and play in this event?
Specifically speaking, for the production side of this event, there's 4 acts.
Okay,
Weathers is a main headliner. There's 3 supporting acts before him, and they range in caliber and in size and things like that. I've confirmed with the production company, local coming out of Sherman, that I trust and that has the caliber of sound system to push for a good 2,000 people in attendance.
okay,
So, and this company has also worked with all the acts on the list before, and they highly approve of the acts as well, as far as good people.
okay.
And so I really think that there's gonna be an X amount of time in between acts for a set change. So, and we're working out the actual schedule and logistics of that in between the acts, so.
There as well, right, which is part of the cost.
Correct.
Say that again. I'm
We
sorry.
have other acts in between, like where they're set changing on the main stage. We have a small trailer stage on the street, because we've already gotten approval to close the street, which is where we hope people will visit our businesses and do things like that. We have another stage there with some smaller acts with also sound, so that's why the cost is so great. It's not just those 4 acts, we have other acts as well.
Sure.
And the idea is there's 2 stages, the main stage being our green space and the stage downtown. So while set change is happening between acts 1 and 2, for example, the community stage, I will say, is firing up. So that would draw people from the green space over to downtown space, for other vendors and things like that that are gonna be set up out there.
Budgeted out of a
Spoke, yes, yeah, I
Yes.
spoke with the city manager, at the end of last week, and, you know, with, some of the savings we've been able to do here, he feels like we're able to be able to do this. I know we didn't have it budgeted in this year, but we would need, you know, if we're gonna continue to look forward to these, if there's an opportunity, because a lot of times, whoever owns the facility where the stage is, you know, the stage, that's where that sound and video side comes from, audio and lighting comes from. So it gives us a feel for what we can expect to try to budget in for the operations of this. And again, these are not, you know, I'd hope it'd be more, and see the impact it makes with an event coming in of this size. So, but the city manager did feel like the funds were available to do this, so.
Okay, if we rented out the stage, then we would have to buy the sound equipment? If that's, is that what you're
It
saying?
depends on the act. But
So, okay, let's say
yes.
we're having another music concert, would we provide the sound equipment?
It depends on what their requirements are before they would agree to come here.
Okay, so if the requirements were that we had to provide the sound, then we would. And we would charge them for that, right? We would just let them come for free and
No, now
pay
there
for
may be
that?
somebody else that sponsors the rental of the stage in the green space, but it's a totally different animal when you get to an
Yes,
event
and,
this size.
the owner, who is the owner of the green space?
This-
The city.
the city.
So that would be the city is the owner of the space, they're the owner of that venue. That
Mhm.
means in the rider, everything associated to the rider of an artist or an act, they have specific requirements all the way down to hospitality, not just production and technology. Most of the time, the groups that will come into your space are on what's called mostly a fly date, a fly event, which means they're not carrying much at all. A fly means I get on a plane, I fly to the venue. So 98% of the time, every venue will provide the technology for the show.
But the venue would charge somebody for that, right?
That's
A
up to the-
sponsor or?
There would be a sponsor associated with that, there would be tickets at the gate, however you're going to manage your venue when it comes to that
Okay.
particular thing.
Yeah, so.
And I think
So
that's
I-
what the city manager and the future tourism person would just have to look at, what is this concert worth? What's it gonna bring to us? And they would just have to negotiate each one based on what we are willing to provide versus what they are, and if it's gonna be a charge, if there's gonna be a fee or not, and they're just gonna have to weigh it out like you would any other, just a business.
And then
What,
the
Well-
the recoup on that would be ticket sales,
yeah.
okay?
Okay, but we're not selling tickets for this
No,
one.
no, no.
Correct.
But in the future, we might, but
Right.
wouldn't, to be fair, wouldn't we sponsor everybody's events with the lighting and sound?
Well, again,
If they're
every one
bringing-
of those changes. So if it's a smaller venue or smaller bands that don't require what these do for this particular program, it may be considerably less.
But
Okay,
would
you-
we sponsor it is my,
that is gonna be a one-off this is new ground.
I know, so
Okay,
that's what I'm
number
trying to
one.
say, is if we set a precedence now, are we gonna have to sponsor every event?
No,
Just like anything, we just, the variance.
Okay, and so why would it be
Look
fair to
at it.
sponsor this event, but not the next event?
Can I
because
say
we don't know
something?
what the next event is.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because this is a historical event.
Yeah,
And
It's the
gonna
50-year anniversary of 48 Hours in Atoka.
Probably bring more than $25,000
Yeah.
in anyway.
I mean,
This
Into the
event could very
city.
well, if the city focuses on this event, it very well could be the annual operating event that everybody comes to.
So would we sponsor it every year?
Possibly.
That's my next
You
question.
could.
That's
Is,
the question for the
what is the plan for next year? Is there a,
I mean, to be honest, we started planning this year the second we were done last year. I mean, literally, we had the event on the weekend and Monday night we had another meeting, so.
did they charge originally for 48 hours in Atoka?
They did,
They do.
did
I'm
they?
just- Okay.
It was a
I don't know how they
minimal charge.
controlled it because it was out.
The problem is,
Wasn't no control.
we're starting over, so we have to, we don't have
Yeah.
anywhere to start, and we've talked
Yeah.
about, we could ticket it, but that cost us money to ticket it. And then we have to, if we're gonna have it here and we ticket it, we can fence it off, and people are gonna sit outside the fence, and like, there's so many things
Yeah.
we're learning in
Yeah.
this process
Yeah.
as well.
So Ms. Poe, to answer your question, you as a venue owner, you can sponsor the entity hosting the event, or, in this situation, the city would be the main headliner sponsor for this event, coming up in November. Now, for every other group coming into your venue, that'll be up to the council and leadership to decide if you're going to sponsor that event for X entity, or you are going to charge them a rent fee. You have to think of your space as a shell. It's just like any other rental space that you have at that particular situation.
And Steve's background is with the Choctaw Grand Theater. I don't really know what your title was, but
I'm
that's,
the video director at the Grand Theater Choctaw,
Okay.
and so I have a lot of hands-on experience with a lot of these artists and tours, from the greatest to the smallest. So,
But do you work with Jay Alford? Is he in that?
yes,
Okay.
I could contribute to his career there.
Okay. One of my little kids that used to be.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he is. But, I mean, that's something that we gotta look at is rental fees for it.
Yeah,
you
that,
know.
and that's all, those were in discussions, when we had our tourism manager, those haven't ever come to the council with a structure to know what those charges are.
Well, it's not built yet.
yeah.
Right. Well,
Carol
exactly.
Carol had put together a program.
Yeah, we still
but
got a little bit of time.
It's still, and it'll change as soon as we get started, because we don't,
Yeah.
you know, we're,
And this is a learning curve for us as well.
Well, and
And
our goal is to produce something bigger each year if
Sure.
we can. I mean,
Sure.
we're more than doubling as far as the type of artists and the kind of artists we're bringing in than we did last year. We have a rich music history here, and I think that's something that us as a city and a community, that can help us out with tourism and lots of.
well, if
Well,
you
there's
look,
several-
Several
You gotta
businesses
bring
have
more
been
than
sponsors of the
$25,000
event.
into
Yeah.
Atoka anyway.
From the local small businesses downtown to your larger people like Pepsi,
Yeah, hotels.
people like that, so they're.
New businesses, the Green Lion,
The Green
Lion is a
Lion,
new,
they've
I
been
mean,
a
we've
sponsor.
Well,
got lots of
and-
good,
Yeah.
good involvement.
and it's, most other communities around us have a signature festival or an event, and we've never really been able to land on one here in Atoka that reaches a wide genre of people, that's interesting to a lot of folks. And hopefully, by starting something like this, you can add other events, not necessarily in the downtown area, but make it where those people do move even more than they're over here for this concert piece, they're over here for this part, be it a car show or a cook-off or whatever it may be in the future. That just compounds the different people that have different interests to come to your community at the same time annually. And I know there's been an enormous amount of hours over the last 2 or 3 years to even this didn't just start last year alone. It was even a year to 2 years before that these conversations came up. But again, speaking with the city manager, he does feel like we would be, if the council or the board so chose, that the funds would be available to offer the sponsorship.
and this is a little off topic, Johnny would probably say not to say, but when we had started this, in my mind, it was, we would have the sound system already there, part of the stage, but Steve brought up the point that you're really just wasting money, because those speakers, one, that they would be out all year round, and so how good are they gonna be, and the person that comes may not even want to use them, so it may just
Hang
be a
there.
waste,
Yeah.
just hang there, and, and so it's changed after talking to him on what water needs to be done for that. I mean, we are gonna have to do something so that,
Yeah.
because we're gonna have a screen, and that's all, that's gonna be, I guess, a little bit of
But, you know,
phase
the-
two-ish.
Now, the pre-wiring, you know, having it where they have the ample power to
Yeah.
plug their equipment in, having that is key.
Yeah.
And then you can plug just about anything you need to into the mixture. So, and if we find something that is a modular setup in the future that would work for smaller groups, and if they didn't have their own thing, that might be something we could look at purchasing, and then, okay, if you guys wanna use that, then
Here's the
is
fee.
there a fee or whatever, you know? But most bands have what they would wanna use and they're familiar with, and they know how to set it and tune it where it sounds good to them and to the crowd, so, anyway, that's what's before us this evening. Is there any other discussion or comments?
Are we approving the money this time? I mean,
Yes, ma'am.
okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I recommend approving the $25,000 for the 48-hour music festival.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Mr. Turner,
Yes, with reservations.
Ms. Pogue,
I think it'll pass anyway, but I'm gonna say no.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. We promise to
you.
make you proud.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a large sum of money for us.
It
to-
is.
to
It's
have
a
that.
large
lot
sum of
of
money for
money.
us.
Yeah.
That was our budget for, that's what we raised last year for the entire
I know.
concert, for the entire thing. So we don't take it lightly, and we will be diligent with it, and we will make you proud.
Thank you very much.
How can we make our $25,000 back?
I hope you do. I hope you double it. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You get the first one?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
No, actually, I had to clean up after, I was a 11th grader.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I
that
didn't
doesn't
get to
matter.
go.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah, I had to clean up the needles and stuff afterwards.
I need to hear that story.
A bus load, they took a Atoka bus.
All right, at this time, is there any trustee comments? Hearing none, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion and second, roll call, please.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Mr. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes. All right, on our next meeting, the Atoka Industrial Facilities Authority, would you call roll, please?
We're done.
Mr. Turner,
Here.
Ms. McGee,
Here.
Ms. Pogue,
Here.
Mr. Sherrill,
Here.
Mr. Kathy.
Here. We move down, this is public comment time. This is anything that's not on the posted agenda, you may address the board. Hearing none, we'll move to business agenda. Item number 1, discussion and/or action regarding approving or rejecting the minutes of the meeting of April 21st, 2025.
I'll motion
Recommend-
to approve.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
Recommend approving, sorry, guys.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, roll call, please.
Ms. McGee,
I'm sorry.
sorry.
Yes.
Ms. Pogue, Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Mr. Turner.
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes. Item number 2, discussion and/or action regarding accepting or rejecting the sports complex manager's report.
I would like to add something. I would be remiss if I didn't, because me and Danny had talked about it quite a bit. And it was kind of unusual, and it's been a big hit, but we added an ice cream machine out there at the sports complex this season, and it has been killing it. I mean, it is a hot topic. They had one, or they've got one out at Lane School where my wife works, and they've used it for years for the kids in their sporting events, and it's always been a big deal. And so far, I think they're
Carried
having
over.
trouble keeping up with it. I don't know how much the staff likes it, because it's usually 2 lines deep till it's
Yeah.
out, so, but.
Get the kids all sticky and.
Yeah,
sitting
it's
in the splash
been,
pad.
it's, everybody's walking around with an ice cream cup, and so far, it's been it's been really neat.
Vanilla only?
Now, it's vanilla and chocolate, or you can twist it,
Oh.
Hey,
so,
Fancy.
all the above, huh?
yeah.
Well, I know it's really cool to pull out there and see a absolute packed out park.
Packed, and yeah, everybody having fun.
Yeah.
I kinda touched on a couple of deals out of sequence earlier, but Splash pad stuff's good. We're operational on it again, and again, that playground, that smaller kid playground equipment we put in there is good, so.
Awesome.
I know, I'm praying for no rain this weekend. I wanna go to the splash pad.
Yes, yes.
Well, you
Well,
might
you're
not
going
get
splash
your
pad
wish.
to get wet anyway. You
I
know.
don't wanna go with this
Might as
lightning.
well.
Well, yeah, exit on the lightning for sure. So, all right, any other comments or questions? Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion and second, roll call, please.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Mr. Turner,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy,
Yes. Item number 3, discussion and/or action on approving or rejecting the payment of the purchase orders for the Atoka Industrial Facilities Authority for the month of April 2025.
I'll motion to approve.
I'll second.
Have a motion and second, roll call, please.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Mr. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy,
Yes. Are there any trustee comments? Hearing none, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
A motion and second, roll call, please.
Mr. Turner,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy,
Yes. All right, as we enter into our last meeting of the evening, the Atoka City Airport Authority Trust, would you call roll, please?
Ms. McGee,
Here.
Mr. Sherrill,
Here.
Mr. Turner,
Here.
Ms. Pogue,
Here.
Mr. Kathy,
Here. All right, this is public comment time. Again, anything that's not on the posted agenda, you may address the board at this time. Hearing none, we'll move down to the business agenda. Item number 1, discussion and/or action regarding approving or rejecting the minutes of the meeting on April 21st, 2025.
I recommend approving.
I'll second.
Motion and second, roll call, please.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Turner,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Item number 2, again, this was on
You
our.
got him? Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
You good? Okay, we good? Okay. Again, item number 2 is the one we approved in city council, so this is just following up on it. Item 2, discussion and/or action to enter into agreement between the city of Atoka and H.W. Lochner, Inc. for airport planning services in the amount of $359,170. Planning services include the completion of environmental assessment and airport layout plan, which will evaluate potential environmental impacts and illustrate a future development for a replacement airport. Enforcement of the agreement is contingent upon the city's acceptance of the grant offered by the Federal Aviation Administration and the Oklahoma Department of Aviation and Aerospace, and is contingent upon an independent fee estimate performed by a third party.
These are almost as long as our executive sessions.
You need a replay button.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna start that.
You can
Or
have
just
Keenan
record
for
it and hit replay, it wasn't too.
that. Keenan.
I'll motion to approve.
Yeah.
I'll second.
Motion and a second, roll call, please.
Mr. Turner,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes. I feel that somebody likes to make my life a little more difficult reading. All right, any trustee comments? Hearing none, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion and second, roll call, please.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Turner,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill, Mr. Kathy.
Yes, we are adjourned for the evening. Thank you all.
All right.
Well, Pat, who they get, who's